Hi, I'm Sil Shelverstein. I write really good books. Everybody thinks I'm super cool. I can do no wrong.
Okay, maybe that's a bit harsh. I actually enjoyed Where the Walk Side Starts, Dark in the Basement, even Don't Glump the Bump. All these Sil Shelverstein books are classics. But there's one that is just awful. It's what I like to call the enabling tree. This book about utilitarian relationships of codependency casts really unhealthy friendships in a positive light. And has the preachiness of environmentalist hogwash to boot. You shouldn't save the environment just because of what it can give you. You should save the tree because it's good in itself and is a gift to be cherished by mature and responsible persons. Anyway, I want to illustrate my point just by reading what I think the book is saying, page by page. I must first say I'm making no comment on what Sil Shelverstein was writing, but these are my impressions from when I read the book as a kid in second grade. I had these very misgivings, and now I'm able to express them intelligently and properly to show why this book is not a good teaching tool. So what I need to prove is that one can be reasonably misled. And I have reasonable misgivings, so it can be seen that the book is a poor tool. The enabling tree. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come, and they'd do fun stuff. And the boy enjoyed the tree, because love is here reserved for an act of the will actualizing the agent's knowledge of the good of the other. Any feeling or desire, even if actualized, coming solely from doing fun stuff, will not be called love here. The boy is not acting on his knowledge of the good of the tree, only how he can enjoy her without harming her. Now, it's good not to harm another, and it's all right to enjoy others and things, but this is not love. And the tree enjoyed the boy. Because mutual use, the one for his pleasure and the other for her company and attention, is not love either. But as he grew older, the boy got bored of using the tree, though she, dependent on him, did not realize the toxicity of their utilitarian relationship, and she did not grow bored of being used, which does not make what has been abuse okay once the abused give consent. That's a misunderstanding of Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative, which takes as one of its three formulations the banning of any action that includes the disrespect of the freedom of the other, that is, treating them as if they're not a rational being. Yet Kant did not intend for just any action that another consents to be moral, since this no longer considers an action as universal, but as particular, dependent upon the arbitrary whims of persons involved, and relative moralities are useless, and can never be applied, since every instance of choice varies from every other and would be subject to a different moral code. This breaks down morality entirely, rendering all actions amoral, which leads to things such as murder is never impermissible, and charity must never be praised, since they have no difference in standing as actions of choice. Then one day the boy came back after leaving the tree alone for a long time. She said, "Come, climb up my trunk again." "I'm too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want more from you." "Take my apples," said the dependent tree to the ungrateful boy. "Oh, I can totally climb now, since I'll get more utility from you than just enjoying myself," said the boy, who grew up to be a terrible person because of the tree's spoiling and the diseases of abuse, greed, and selfishness that afflicted his soul, and he allowed to run rampant, at least toward the tree from whom he had received so much. The boy left her again, and came back when he needed her branches, which would make a terrible house for the family he professes to be taking care of. He also came back to bear away the trunk, which would now have been a dead tree. This he used to make a sailboat, which would have been terrible from a single apple tree. Incidentally, there must be a second apple tree for her to have produced apples, which is an interesting thought, and one wonders why the other tree goes unmentioned. Also, why the boy never sold more apples goes unaddressed. Further, the tree gives the greedy and vicious man whatever she can to earn his affections and make him happy, until she is a stump. Pity her. Only pity her not to excess, for her enabling attitude toward the boy whom she has made her idol is, as far as the story makes clear, made him from an Endymion into a Narcissus. The boy came back after another period of leaving the tree alone, and asked if she had anything more to give him. She actually apologized that all she could do for him now was stand up straight and let him sit on her. as a result of his poor choices. The boy gave nothing to the tree and took everything, even into old age, and rested on the stump of his most loyal and giving friend, happy to use her to her disadvantage and eventual death. The weight of his sins creaked beneath him, but his dead and gone conscience was not rekindled. The tree was satisfied with her lot, having been abused by a boy she enabled their entire lives together, even though he was selfish, arrogant, absent, and immoral. It's not an excuse to attempt to claim she gave all to him, so it's some sort of great heroine. No. She ruined both their lives, and he could have saved them both, but never did. They're the worst sorts of friends, according to the Aristotelian model in the Nicomachean Ethics, Book 8. They did not love each other, but loved themselves. The tree was happy, according to Sil Shelverstein, anyway.